What's up, YouTube? So I went out and literally asked for an affiliate deal, and the response I got back was, sure, we'd love to. Let's talk about it and get some fresh new parts installed on the bike. All right, guys, so before we get into it, thanks for stopping by, thanks for watching this. I know it's been a minute since I've done like an installation video, but I've got so much more. I got so much backlog of video, other part installs that you guys haven't seen. But also check out some of my other adventure bits. Check out the Black Hills series. It's gonna be at least 12 videos telling the story of my 14-day trip out to the Black Hills and back. It's gonna get really good, so hang in there. Engagement with the channel just drives me to want to do this stuff more. Anyways, I needed some new auxiliary lights for the bike. I wanted some, I didn't necessarily need them. I had my eyes on nice CNC'd. I had a thought to myself, what if I just reach out and ask for an affiliate deal and see if I can just get the lights and do a video, right? And to my surprise, they were like, yeah, dude, let's rock, you know? I kind of oversold myself, to be honest. But anyway, besides the point. I did that, they were like, yeah, man, let's do it. They agreed to send me their auxiliary lights. I'm kind of stoked, I'm pretty excited. I was gonna buy this anyways, and I'm glad I now have it, so we're gonna check it out. First thing is this big, giant wire harness. I was curious about how long these cords were because, I don't know, I thought maybe they'd be too long, but they look all right. They look pretty good. I thought that was gonna be like the first thing I criticized, but we'll put that somewhere. But these is what we came here for. I think I'm pretty stoked about these. Comes with, you got your brackets and stuff, so I've got 2 lights, a couple of brackets, you'll see how they go on, and some hardware with the harness. I went ahead and picked up a couple of these, but these are only about 10 bucks on Amazon, and it's the T7 light, auxiliary light splitter wire. You'll figure it out. We need the crash bars on the bike for the light install. So I think what I'll do is I'll just back this out and loosen it up so I can get the fairing off, and then we'll work through it. In here, in case I want it or need it, I've got the engine mount bolt for this side where I can put that back in place, especially if I have to work on the other side, because you just never want to take both those engine mount bolts out at the same time. Bad things happen if your engine shifts. We've got the piece that goes around the bars. I think this is cool. It's just a simple little bracket that we're gonna put on our control so that we have the buttons at our thumbs to turn the lights on and off. So I think that's pretty cool. Some washers, yeah. And so I was like, I just truly want the crash bars. And they're like, hey, here's your budget. I was kind of came in under the budget. I was like, hey, I like these. This is what I was gonna buy anyway. So they're like, yeah, you didn't even like reach the budget. Would you like to try this shit too? So they also sent, I really don't get this one, but I have it now. It's a radiator protector. Yeah, this thing on the thing. It covers the side of the radiator. It's mounted across the top and bottom with these solid bars. And these are the sides of it. And you can see the shape of that. I tried to read what it was all about on the product description. And it says like, protect your radiator from like getting crushed in a crash. And I'm like, does that happen? Like, I don't know. It's already underneath, like, I don't know. I was like Googling it, but I didn't see anything. Got some hardware there, some spacers. So that's what we got. Before we install anything, the instructions they provide start with you building the brackets out. You can actually build it all out and get it very close to mounting on the thing before you even open the bike up. So we'll go ahead and just start putting these pieces together, then I can talk about the lights. So first thing out the gate with this kit is that it comes with this 2-prong power connector. So I think the 2023 models and earlier had this 2-pronged or 2-wire connector for power. But I have a 2024 and it does not have this connector. So we had to terminate a 3-prong connector onto the end of this power feed. So it's a pretty simple process. If you'd like to know exactly how to do it, let me know, put it in the comments, and I can do a video on how to build one of these or terminate this properly. Although it's a 3-prong connector, terminating only the 2 wires is totally fine, as long as you are lined up with the connector inside of the bike. So you want to make sure your red wire goes to the red wire on the bike, because there are 2, and black obviously should go to the black. So you got to make sure you line those up. And you can probably see I made a mark on the connector with a Sharpie where I wanted the black wire to go. All right, guys, this project has been a huge pain in the butt. I've been struggling to get this done. I've been trying to do it in pieces. That's why this video probably looks a bit hacky, and it just keeps plaguing me. I left half of the footage for this video 3 hours away. I'm on a trip. I left my little case with my memory cards in it. I have to wait until that gets mailed to me, so that's gonna delay this video even more days. But we're gonna try to power through it. I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. I got to relax, spend some time with family, and just kind of wind down. So let's go ahead and get some brackets mocked up on this thing. So my only real beef with some of the features that Nice CNC lists is that this is plug and play, calling it a direct replacement without changing plugs or wiring. That's not true, but I get it. It feels like this was true a couple of models ago, whereas anything 2024 and later, you will have to modify the plug, but it's a simple job. So I got those on. If we want, we can go ahead and wire the lights up, just kind of test, make sure they work. If they work, then you know this is essentially done. You just tighten your brackets down where you want them, kind of get it placed. So I have to figure out how I'm gonna place these, but I think from here, I think that's gonna be okay. I can see I'm gonna want a configuration that tucks them in to kind of protect them from hitting the ground. I'd rather them be inside of the crash bars rather than kind of outside of them like that, whereas now if the bike falls over, it's just gonna bang into the light. So I'm gonna try to consider that when I mount. Let's get it plugged up and see if it works. Let's give her a test, shall we? We'll turn the bike on. Not getting anything for the white lights. Oh, I see. So it's nice. So you've got one button which turns the unit on. The other button, when it turns the unit on, they come on the yellow lights. When you tap the other button, you get your white lights. You tap that second button again, go back to yellow, and the first button is your power. Looks like we're good to go. I may go ahead and use a splitter just so I can ensure I still have that extra clip here, just in case we come back later with something. I think it's nice to have that extra already available. I'm gonna need some zip ties and some patience, but we've also got this radiator guard that's gotta get on here. I'm really unsure as to why you need a radiator guard. Not really sure. All of this is covered up in the fairing. You've got your crash bars over it. Just seems not very likely that you're gonna crush your radiator guard, but you know, Nice CNC was nice enough to send the part out to me and asked if I'd try it, and I have a hard time with saying no to things. So, but in order to get this installed, I'm gonna have to take a lot of this apart. So I've got to take this plastic piece off here. Hopefully I don't have to take this bolt all the way out, but we've got to take these two frame bolts out under here because that's what goes in here. So I'm gonna get some Loctite ready and go ahead and start pulling this apart. Why do I hate myself? Yeah, I'm not really sure why I hate myself, but I mean, it's not a lot of work. We're just pulling off this small panel. There are 3 screws and a plastic rivet. So, small work. I think you'll figure it out. Got this off. Now we gotta get these bad boys off of here. It's not going to be this side because that would move that back here, and obviously can't go that way. So this piece will go on the left side. However, this piece, I notice, does come with a little strip, a little sticky here, and we're gonna put this on here per the instructions, like this. Right there. Don't know why, but I imagine it keeps it off of something important. This guy will mount like this. Yeah? All right. These we're gonna tighten back down to 25 foot-pounds of torque when we're bringing these back. This is where our engine's mounted, and we don't want anything shifting here because it may become an issue trying to get things back aligned if we biff this. So we're gonna be extra careful. They actually do provide you a couple of longer screws that I forgot existed. So we're gonna dab these with some Loctite. These screws did not come with washers. I'm going to try and reuse these washers because I like that idea. And let's try this again. Okay, that's a little bit better. Had me worried for a sec. These have to go to 25 foot-pound. I think we got it in there. Across the way there. Let's Loctite up and see if we can't secure it. Got that started. All right. Whew, let's move to the other side and see if we can't get this the other one here installed. We can come back and tighten everything down and put it back together. Get our 2 bolts out here, and we should be good to go. Should put a screw up here and this fella. That's the rod that goes across the top. And then this rod goes across the bottom. I probably would skip buying this part. I don't know if it were me. Last thing I want to do before I button everything up is these bolts here are frame mounts. And they have to be torqued down to 25 foot-pound. So I'm gonna go ahead and torque these down to 25 foot-pound, and then we'll start buttoning this thing up, cleaning up our wire, and sending this home. The wiring and how you figure out how you run that, this is a choose your own adventure. I am saving you a ton of just wasted time, but this is a choose your own adventure. You gotta get in there and find the best route for your situation. All right, so we finally got her all buttoned up. Got our wiring done. We've got our little control module here. It's pretty slick. And wiring is, it's not the prettiest, but it works. Everything's nice and loose, nothing's too tight. We got our lights hard mounted here. I don't know if you can see that. My little job here. I had to drill a hole through this guy, and then I put silicone in there. I'll probably redo it, make it a little better, just to keep water from getting in there too easily. Over here, we just had to drill a couple of holes, put a zip tie on that guy. We were also able to get our radiator guard mounted. It's here, goes across our radiator, kind of protects it from getting crushed, so they say. Was it worth it? You know, I think when it comes to anything electrical or dealing with wires for my bike, we're gonna pass on it for a while, but I won't know until I get out on the road and test them out in the dark, see how much brighter they are. I'll bring you some of that footage as well. As far as the installation, it's a really simple installation. It's just really tedious, and I had a lot going on, so it took me a long time. But should you buy it? I don't know, man. At the price point, these are really great. As far as some of the competitors, really comparative in what you're getting out of the lights. I'll put a link to these down in the description below. So if you want to check these out from Nice CNC or their radiator guard, I'll drop the link down there. If you've made it this far and you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button, drop a comment. It really helps grow and feed this channel. So I hope I have kind of helped someone out there who's looking to install these, kind of get a sense of what that's like. But until the next one, I'm out, guys. Peace out, ride safe. All right, guys, so finding a route through here for your cables, it'll be fun, to say the least.